That's the party of Amilcar Cabral. And I'm a member of the Maryland Council of Elders. I usually come to African Liberation Day and talk for 5 or 6 minutes and then let everybody else speak. I've decided not to do that today because African Liberation Day is really one of the few chances we get to look back on the year that we have lived and to record and take note of the victories and the defeats that we have suffered over that year. And this year has been a historic year. Since we were here last, 3 states in West Africa have come together to form the Alliance of Sahel States. Since we were here last, the U.S. is being thoroughly trounced in Ukraine. Since we were here last, they had a meeting of Uncle Toms from Africa with Uncle Sam to discuss how they're going to divide up Africa's resources and give more to the U.S. Since we were here last, these Zionist pigs have killed over 35,000 Palestinian men, women, and children since we were here last. Imperialism is being pressed to the wall. I said imperialism is being pressed to the wall.
Yeah.
I said the enemy is being pressed to the wall.
Yeah.
And we intend to keep the pressure on them.
That's right.
I told you before you leave here, you would understand the relationship between the struggle that is going on in Palestine right now and the struggles of African people around the world. And that relationship is this. Israel is the U.S. sounding board, the U.S. post in the Middle East. It's the gateway to Asia. It's the gateway to Russia. It's the gateway to Europe. And it's the gateway to Africa. And as someone said earlier, all Israel does is disrupt the lives of all the countries around it. And they do that to implement the U.S.'s agenda, to implement the U.S.'s plan, to steal the resources of the people of the world and bring them to the U.S. so that they can make money. When the Palestinians rise up and take Palestine back from them Zionists, the U.S. has got a problem, y'all. And that problem benefits us. The U.S. is weaker without Israel. The U.S. don't have the control that it has over the Middle East without Israel. The U.S. can't continue to do what it's doing in Africa. You know, Israel is the world's #1 processor of diamonds. And ain't no diamonds in Israel. Them diamonds come from the Congo. Them diamonds come from South Africa. Them diamonds come from Rwanda. Them diamonds even come from Haiti. So, bringing down the illegal, racist, settler colonial state of Israel is part and parcel of the struggle to liberate Africa. Bringing down. Now I want to make sure y'all understand what I'm saying. Israel is a settler colony, right? Y'all sound like you ain't sure.
Yeah, it is.
Israel's a settler colony. Right. Y'all know another settler colony? The one you sitting in. That's a settler colony. This is occupied territory. You don't see no Native American people around here. Why? Because they committed genocide against them people. Where do you think them Israelis learned how to commit genocide? They learned it from the people that committed genocide right here and stole you from Africa and brought you here. That's where they learned how to commit genocide. They learned to commit genocide watching them Australians, them British prisoners that they shipped to Australia who massacred the Australian Aboriginal people with smallpox, killed 97% of their population to take Australia. That's where they learned how to commit genocide. So if you're against settler colonialism in Palestine, you must be against settler colonialism right here in America, where you live, where you grow, where they miseducate your children, where they send your children off to war to die for American imperialism. If you're against settler colonialism anywhere, you must be against settler colonialism everywhere. We've had a very interesting year. The Palestinians started in the streets, and they left the streets and they moved to the college campus, and they set up encampments on the college campus, and they said, we're going to stay here until all the money that these universities invest in Israel is divested. But they didn't know that the university professors are all Zionists. And them Zionist administrators at these universities sick the police on these kids for sitting down and asking for justice. Over 3,000 of them got locked up for justice, locked up for fighting against imperialism, locked up for fighting for your liberation. You hear what I said? Fighting for your liberation. Well, why are they fighting for your liberation? Because they fighting imperialism, that's how. They fighting your enemy. And you ain't always out there with them. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, I don't understand that. I've been having conversations with people that come up to me and ask me, well, Rafiki, why y'all don't talk about the Congo? And I asked the brother, what are you doing for the Congo?
Okay.
Because I talk about the Congo all the time, right? I talk about Africa, all of it, every country in Africa. We want to free the whole of Africa. But these people run around here talking about why you ain't talking about the Congo is trying to justify why they ain't talking about Palestine. And not talking about the Congo is not a justification for not talking about Palestine. If you got a heart in your chest, if you got morals and a conscience in your mind, if you have human compassion and you look at that TV and see what them Israeli Zionist pigs are doing to the Palestinian people, it is your duty to support those people.
That's right.
It is your duty to stand up. You don't have to know nothing about Palestine. All you got to know is right or wrong. And I know your mama taught all y'all right and wrong. So if you know right from wrong, you know Uncle Sam is wrong and the Palestinians is right. We have had a very interesting year. And I've heard the talk that we've had today about unity. But I've got in a position, unplanned, where I can look at the national activity of a number of organizations and come intimately connected with their inner workings and seeing how they interact with each other. And in the process, I wasn't expecting this, but this is what happened. I got to see how the enemy divides us. Because I saw the same thing happening over here that was happening over there. Same thing happening in Tennessee that's happening in California. Same thing happening in Baltimore that's happening in Philadelphia and Boston and Raleigh, North Carolina. The same thing that's happening to our people all over the United States is the same thing that's happening to our people in Africa. What is this thing? It ain't infiltrators. It ain't agent provocateurs. It's our own pettiness, our own individualism, our own ambitions, our own unwillingness to submit ourselves to organizational discipline so that we can carry out the objectives that we collectively have defined and decided that is what we want to do. We are our own worst enemy in this thing. The enemy don't have to come in us and among us to divide us, because he done put his ideas in our heads. He done put his way of thinking in our minds. He has made us think that their culture is our culture, that what they should do is what we should do, that our way to get what we need is the same thing to do how he got what he wanted. And it ain't true. Because this pop culture, that ain't our culture. That's the enemy's culture. Our culture is resistance. How you think you survived 500 years of this stuff? Resistance. How you think you overcame slavery? Resistance. How you think we crushed Jim Crow? Resistance. How you think we're going to defeat capitalism and imperialism? Resistance. Resistance is what we need. And the reason we need to unify is so that we can resist better. We don't need to unify so we can hold hands and walk down the street skipping, singing, we shall overcome. No. We need to unite so we can fight our enemy. We need to unite so we can defeat our enemy. We need to unite so we can let the masses of the people of the world know that we are in this fight with you until the very end. You're in the belly of the beast, y'all. And your job is not just to survive this place. Any old thing can survive. A cat, a rat, and a dog, they can survive. And they can be complete and totally developed rats, cats, and dogs. And don't do nothing but survive. But we are human beings. We have to do more than survive. We have to grow. We have to develop. We have to build. We have to raise civilizations from the ground and bequeath what we produce to our children. We have to give more to this world than we take from it.
Teach, brother.
This is our task. It's not just to survive America. It's not just to make noise to America. It's not just to speak truth to power. No. Our job, and we're the only ones that can really do this, you know. Our job is to bring this system down. Our job is to destroy capitalism. Ain't nobody else in America ever burned 65 cities. That's what we did. We know how to do this thing. And the reason we ain't doing it now is because we just ain't organized. And this brings me to my conclusion. Africans, you got to get organized. You got to join something. You got to join somebody. The most simple task you have is to educate yourself, to free your mind of the backward ideas that you have. But I'm gonna tell you something. You can't do that alone. You have to do that with other people. Y'all need to share ideas. Y'all need to come up with a collective understanding. Y'all need to develop a strategy to go forward together.
Teach, brother.
So if you really want to free your mind, you need to join an organization that's fighting for the masses of the people.
Teach, brother.
I never, and they tell you, I never asked anybody to join the AAPRP. I've been a member of the All African People's Revolutionary Party for 50 years. And I never asked anybody to join our party.
I'll ask.
And the reason I don't ask them, because y'all will ask you. But the other reason I don't ask people to join the party, because this is some serious stuff we into. And if you join it because I asked you, you probably ain't gonna stick around long enough to do what we got to do.
Sir.
So I need you to be thinking and make up your own mind to check out all the organizations around you and figure out which one best suits your understanding of what needs to be done. Join that organization. If it's the AAPRP, the All African People's Revolutionary Party, that's fine. If it's another organization, that's fine. But if it's no organization, that's not fine. My brother, Kwame Ture, said if you are a member of an oppressed people in need of organization and you refuse to join the organization, by the very act of your inactivity, you're against your people.
Right.
So if your people need you to do something and you don't do nothing, then you're against your people.
Right.
How many of y'all against your people? How many of y'all ain't doing nothing?
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand. There you go. No, we got one honest person. The rest of y'all ain't talking. But that's all right. Not yet, sweetie. So, I've taken a little extra time today because this is a historic moment. A historic moment where one of the most important aspects of the capitalist imperialist enterprise is about to fall. Everything's going to change when Zionism is destroyed. Everything's going to change when Israel falls. And I hope, against hope, that we are organized and ready to make that change.
Sir.
I want to announce that on the 15th of June at Douglas Memorial Church on 1375 Madison Avenue, that's right? That's right, Atiba?
25.
From 12 o'clock, we're having a town hall. This town hall is called Students in Resistance. It's about the youth and the students coming together and figuring out what you gonna do. We're not coming there to tell you what to do. We want you to come in there and fight with each other and figure out what you gonna do and then tell us what you want us to do. We think the youth have to lead us at this stage.
Sir.
We think the youth have to be the tip of the spear.
Yes, sir.
And in order to be that tip, you have to also be organized.
Sir.
So we want y'all to all come out to the town hall. You will find flyers on the table over this side. That's the AAPRP table. And you will also find flyers at the Black Alliance for Peace table. Please come out. Please join us in these town halls. They are very important. It's a growing forum for revolution in the city of Baltimore. Once again, we want to thank you all for coming. We want to say to you, as we say every time we come in front of you, as always, we stand ready for the revolution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rafiki Morris.